donation from private people, from companies, from foundations, we're able to maintain an activity compared to the situation we were facing in June. It means that we are going to continue after October, but we have to separate ourselves from some employees. But still, it's a good news. It means that Passerell can continue with less means, but it means we can continue to work towards developing our activity again and receiving some people.
The people we meet every day in our office is quite diverse depending on the country of origin, ethnicity, age, questions that they come with. It is quite consistent with, of course, the numbers of people coming to Luxembourg to ask asylum. So, of course, we've met many Afghan people, many Eritrean people, many Syrian people. When the Ukrainian war started, of course, we met many people coming from Ukraine. Last year, with the Taliban taking back power in Afghanistan, many Afghan people came. And it was not necessarily newcomers, but people who were afraid for their families who were back in Afghanistan. In terms of why people come to us, I would say it is also quite diverse. But if I can give some examples, I would say people who are in a Dublin procedure, so meaning Luxembourg thinks they're not the responsible country to assess the asylum application and wants to send them back to other countries, mainly south of Europe, so Italy or Spain. So people come here to understand why they're in this situation and how is there a possibility to maybe break this procedure.
Of course, there's a growing number of people contacting us. It means there is a need for information, for support for human rights. And also the fact that now we have to tell all these people we're sorry, we cannot receive you anymore because we don't have the means. It's very frustrating because the people say, okay, where do I go now?
We developed an expertise and a reputation that is really acknowledged within civil society. So we work with a lot of different civil society organizations on a daily basis. Our work is also, I think, acknowledged by most lawyers, so most practitioners who do asylum and immigration law. So we have good collaboration practices with them, always in the interest of our beneficiaries, of course. Even the public authorities have recognized our worth and our added value within the civil society landscape in Luxembourg. We had some occasional, rather small, symbolic, but still funding from some ministries, so mainly the Ministry of Immigration and the Ministry of Justice, but they were always very small amounts. So it was probably a way for them to recognize our work and the fact that we were valuable actors in the system, but still absolutely insufficient to have any kind of sustainable working in the future. So we have established a good relationship at first with this ministry, but we have never managed to convince them that even though we are sometimes critical of how things happen in Luxembourg, we should still get public funding, because we are advocating for the application of human rights, fundamental rights, which are supposed to be protected by EU law, by international law, by the Luxembourgish constitution as well. And so by advocating to improve the effective application of those rights, we are also being useful in a broader sense. So it's not just about saving jobs at Passerell, of course. It's also about continuing our work as an advocate for human rights in Luxembourg.
We are a non-profit organization, which means people don't pay us to come here. So if we have the financial resources to do so, we can take as much time as we want to listen to those people. So it's quite neat, it's useful. That's the feedback that we receive from people, that thank you for giving me time to explain my story and for listening to me. And most of the time, we don't have the perfect answer to their problems because it's either way too big, or it's too late when they come, or the institution is kind of they're blocked. So most of the time, even if they don't get a positive answer on their actual problem. They're happy that we're here to listen, really.